The Ozone.
Welcome to the Ozone Podcast with Jaguars Senior Writer John Oehser.
All right, welcome into this week's Week 1 Ozone Podcast. And anybody who sees the face knows he needs no introduction in these parts. Jaguars defensive end Josh Hines-Allen, I appreciate you doing this, buddy.
Thank you for having me on.
Year 7, man.
I know.
Hard to believe?
Yeah. 7 years, man. I tell you, man, it goes fast. You know, I remember being a rookie and looking at those moments and looking at all those guys that was year 5, year 6. I'm like, dang, yo, now I'm like here. And then I look I look at my kids and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Right.
Yeah, it's going by, but it's going by fast.
Is it you've always been a leader and you're a team captain this year, but is it different in the locker room? Do you know that, you know, I guess you have to set a tone because you're who you are, you've been around, you've seen everything that's happened here in the last 5 or 6 years. Do you feel that?
I mean, I think for me, I think they brought in, you know, James and Tony and Liam has brought in a lot of guys in here that, you know, played at a high level, played on good defenses, played with other great players around them. And so for me, man, it's just let's see what Jacksonville's got. So for me, it's just to hold up my end of the bargain that, you know, they also have a guy here, actually more than 2 guys, but they also have a guy here that can take over games, you know, and who can just disrupt any game that he steps the foot on. So for me, just setting my tone, letting them boys and letting everybody on each level that you got one of those guys and, you know, we could be a great defense.
Gotcha. You said something in the locker room, I think it was Wednesday, that was interesting. The professionalism of the guys around you that is here, you feel like that is sort of raising you up? Yeah. Am I interpreting that right?
Yeah, no, you are. I think it's a challenge. You know, you see yourself. Obviously, you want to challenge yourself every day. I want to challenge myself every day to become a better player, to push myself. But when you also doing it, you see other guys doing the same thing, you also have to match that intensity. Right. And then you have guys holding you accountable from when you're not doing it. And early on, we were guys holding each other accountable, guys that you don't really talk to a lot. Sure. Yeah, because it was early OTAs and training camp.
Getting to know each other.
Other. And then when you start to see what guys are talking about, and then you start to realize, like, man, I'm surrounded by guys that are real dudes. Okay. And who play at a high level all the time, who get pissed when the plays get made on them, who doesn't just, you know, it is what it is. Next play, who they're out there pissed.
And that was something you started sensing sort of gradually, it sounds like.
Early. Okay. And, I mean, Jordan Lewis was a prime example, you know, of one of the guys that, you know, who's played, obviously, for the Cowboys, you know, whatever you say about them, but who's played at a high level in his career. And we brought him to here you go from the Cowboys to the Jags. In the world's perspective, that's a big drop. But for him, you know, and people may look at it like that. Oh, well, but you come here and I saw the way he worked every single day. Okay. You know, and I saw the way that he challenged players. I saw the way that he tried to change the narrative of a lot of things that people were saying. And, like, for me, that's the type of energy and that's the type of vibe, that's the type of people I want to be around and surround myself with. I'm not saying that we never had that. We have that on this team, but now we keep adding more of those pieces in different levels.
But it sounds like you see it in more places than you had before.
Right? Yes, on every level, and it's cool to see.
Is that what intangibly rich means? You know, you hear James Glasser talk about that. That might be the definition of it, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess. You know, I've heard you guys say it. I heard him say it. Sure. But, like, for me, it's intangibly rich. If that's the way,
and being all about it. Yes. It sounds like that. I guess what I was getting at is trying to change the culture was what they talked about. Yep. And it sounds like that's a tangible way you can see it.
And then you look at our rookies, you know what I mean? You look at the 2 guys, you know, just in my group alone, you know, BJ and Danny, those guys competed every single day, you know, against each other. And they got each other better, and they push each other every single day. And now look at them, you know, both made the 53. Like, for me to see that, you know, as an older guy, to see undrafted free agents, 2 defensive ends, you know, make the 53, it was just unbelievable. And you could just see how our young guys are dialed in, and making plays, and going against better competition, and still be able to not see a dip in competition is awesome to see. And we need more of that, and they have shown that too from the guys that we did keep.
I think most people watching this probably know what you and your family went through for the last 7, 8, 9 months with Wesley, and I know everybody watching this would like to extend, congratulations, thanks, and glad for you. I guess my question is, how did that change your perspective, and do you see that translating to how you approach the NFL at all? I mean, it might be a little too much, but I mean, that sort of experience changes something.
Yeah, I think God has played the way that it was supposed to be played from where he got diagnosed right towards the end of the season, and because I think he knew what type of person that I am. Like for me, man, I'm always dialed into whatever I'm into.
Okay.
So for me to be at the end of the season and to put all my focus into this singular moment, in him, in our family, I had no other distraction besides being in the moment with him. And that's why I try to capitalize off of it always, is being in the moment and realizing, good or bad, it's always about where your feet is. And so for me to be able to dive in and invest that time and to go through all these emotions without realizing I have to wake up and go to practice, or I have to go and see these players, or I have to go sit in this meeting when, my son's in the hospital, crying, or my wife's in the hospital by herself, my kids are alone, or, what I'm saying? Like, I got to worry about where family is. Like, I can dial it in. And then we ring the bell right before the season starts. So it's like, it's just meant to be
there.
Like he had all my attention in the off season, while also me focus. And then he started to get better towards the months where I had to dive back into training, And so like when he got to go home, my training, I started training a little bit more. And then once he got better and to go back to school, then I left and did my treatment. And then I came back, and he's just progressing, getting better and better. And then now he rings the bell right before the season. So now it's like, it's not a breath of fresh air. I still, obviously we're still dealing with it.
Sure.
He's in full remission, but he still has to go see the doctor every month. But to not have that panic button always pressed, I can kind of, all right, focus on Josh, the football player, when I step on the field. And I'm so thankful for God for putting us in this situation, and for me realizing that and putting in that perspective to now I can kind of, put and challenge myself and focus and just do what I need to do on the football field to become a better player. That's why I'm excited about this year.
What kind of outreach and support did you feel after, the news kind of came out?
Yeah.
What you guys have been through? I assume it was pretty intense.
Yeah, very.
And then
very
what did
intense.
it mean to you?
Very intense. The love and the prayers. We felt, all the people that didn't know.
Sure.
We felt the prayers because we seen it working firsthand. When the tough days were tough, we felt the prayers during that time. And then when it got better, we felt them even more. Even though we didn't hear the prayers of people, we didn't see the people praying for us or praying for him, we saw his strength get better each and every day. So we knew prayer was helping him and heal him. And then you talk about when we did, come out with the story, and we did come out with the message, the impact that it made on a lot of people touched me, because I get a lot of, to this day, I still get a lot of, messages on social medias, people telling me their testimony, people in the building telling me things that they experienced with cancer and how loved ones didn't want to open up about it and how that made them feel. And then having us open up and being so vulnerable and allowing people to see and live this life with us kind of gave people the strength to, express how they really feel. So to this day, I still receive messages. I still open them. I still read them. I like the comment. I say thank you for the prayers, and you'll be in my prayers here on out. And just, I'm glad I was able to have a voice to spread that message, to reach all the people that it did reach and that it's continuing to reach, and be that voice for those people that, I'm here for you.
This city and the organization, I mean, I'm not quite sure I'm getting at with the question, but somebody who's jumped around to teams probably doesn't feel that sort of support. But you've been here 7 years. Looks like you're going to finish your career here, the whole thing. This organization and you really are one in a way, right? And I guess it's a terrible question because I don't really have a question, but do you feel that a little bit of just what you mean to the organization, the city, how it's all sort of come together? It doesn't always happen in the NFL these days, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I mean, I'm blessed and able to be on one team. That's been one of my goals thus far. And, I just made best of the opportunities that I had each and every year, from the bad years to the good years. It's, it's always been, try to stay as consistent as I can. But I felt the love. I get a lot of love, when I'm out of town or I'm out in the city.
Right.
It's always, I tell people, man, it's people like, are you not annoyed by it? Or I'm like, well, it's a good thing if people still know who I am.
Right. And they're not throwing stuff at you, right?
No, no. It's always, because I've never, as me as a character, my character, I never try to bash anybody, try to bash the organization, try to bash, coaches, players, especially to the news. My message has always been clean. It's always been fair. It's always been, I love and support the Jacksonville Jaguars because this is my team. This is my home. And
right. You carry yourself with class.
And so, the respect has been there. So, if people feel some type of way, about my play, you can do whatever you want to do with that. When I'm good, you love me. If I'm not playing so well, you hate me. But at the end of the day, the respect that I come and step on the field with is to dominate each and every play. If I do, I do. If I don't, let's get better from it. And I think that love and that support has always been there.
What does it mean to be a captain this year with sort of this transition, this new regime coming in? Because it feels different around here. You've got a locker room transition. To be the captain in that environment, what does it mean? I mean,
it's again, I talked to you about the guys that came in,
right?
And you see the new guy. Jordan was a captain, and Rob was a captain. Two first-year guys that have played at a high level, that played on teams that were very successful in their offense or defensive side of the ball. And you see how well we gravitated to those people, guys that come in and handle their business and lead the right way. And for me to come in as a guy that's been here for 7 years, to do what I normally done, say the things that I'm not gonna say I'm the most vocal leader.
Being yourself.
I just, I like to have fun. I like to joke, but I also like when it's time to lock in and it's time to hone into what we need to do, especially in meetings as well. It's like, this is what we need. We also need a vocal guy that's going to speak up for the defense and, talk to the coaches like, hey, we need this done.
Right.
Can we get this done? When that time, and I need to be serious for that.
Right.
So it's like, being able for me to challenge myself to kind of lock in and hone into this role that I have right now. And I think guys have seen that and they felt it. And plus, you make plays, and that's a big key component on being a captain as well.
Your goals always stay the same. You always talk about Defensive Player of the Year in the Super Bowl. Same. I mean, you never mind putting that out there for yourself, do you?
Yeah, I mean, because I challenge myself. If I, there's a lot of things that I keep to myself that I know within that I'm trying to achieve. But it also goes when you speak it to the world, it's like now people know what you're trying to do. So when you're not playing at that level, that's the expectation I put for myself to challenge myself even harder to, what's not working, figure it out. You know what I mean? So, again, it just challenges me to, I say I want to do it, you want to do it.
Right.
And, I think now we're at a point now where in this organization and in my career where I can capitalize off of all this momentum. Heck, we got a Monday night game against Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs.
Right.
What a great platform to showcase the talent that I know I can to make the case for a defense player of the year. We got week 1. It's a great case to make defensive play here. Like,
Right.
and that's just a consistent thing that I want to be able to do. And again, with Wesley being fully healed, my focus now is predicated off of
Right.
football. So, like, and God has blessed not only him but my family and myself to be able to understand that and to put all my focus into achieving my goals.
What will the record mean to you when you get it? Or are you tired of talking about it? Both.
I mean, I'm not going to say I'm tired of talking about it. Eventually it's going to happen. For me, man, I just want to be able to play fast.
Yeah.
Not force anything. I think if I would have had 10 sacks last year, then I would have broke the record, obviously.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I came at 8 and didn't play the last game. So it's like, not trying to force nothing. Not obviously I know it's there, but I just want to play fast, play physical. When they come run the ball at me, I want to knock them in the mouth. You know what I mean? And be very confident about it. And then that's going to allow me to play an extra level.
Right.
Going to allow me to stay relentless. Because I may not win on my first rush. But I know if I continue to stay relentless, if I know I continue to stay in this rush, that maybe I might get a sack.
Well, it's also one of the few stats in football that you almost don't control.
Yeah.
The ball can come out.
And that's the worst one.
You can flush a guy. Trayvon picks up what you should have had, and he's not going to give it back.
Yeah. 100%. Now I'm jumping on Trey sacks.
Yeah, it's a tough stat because it doesn't always translate into how you're playing.
Yep.
So, final question before we get to the end. What do you like about this team going into it? What gives you confidence about 2025?
What gives me confidence about 2025 is the confidence that each and every guy brings every single day. And I love how we challenge each other and we challenge ourselves. And you can see it on the field. Like when I'm alluding back to what I said earlier, like guys get pissed that things bad happen.
They have
to
their
them.
own standards.
You know what I mean? And so the next play, the attention to detail is even on a higher note. The challenges that we set for ourselves is being met every single day. Coach Camp challenges us every single day. We want to be the most physical defense in the National Football League.
Right.
He ain't talking about we need to be the cleanest. We need to be fundamentally sound. We want to be the physicalest we want to be the most aggressive defense on the field in the National Football League. And right there, that's a mindset.
Sure.
And guys are taking that every day.
Yeah.
We come into practice. I had a ref tell me the other day, when our refs out of here all the time, like, bro, y'all going. Like, and y'all are super, both sides are playing aggressive football with just spiders on. We had pads on that day, but, like, I ain't see y'all play like, I ain't see y'all practice like this.
It's not that much different when you're in right.
You know what I mean? In a long time. So, even in our spider practice, we still banging.
Right.
We in helmets. We still working. So it's like the physicality has always been there, man. I can't wait to showcase and show the world, what we're capable of doing when we play fast and physical and, guys communicating, flying around offensively and defensively and special teams as well.
Gotcha. We'll move quickly through the Ozone 5 fun questions. I feel bad for asking a father of 3 this, but maybe you still watch TV. What was your last binge watch?
Oh, Lord. Oh, shoot.
You can't say
Vampire Diaries with my wife. I've been watching that with her.
Now, I assume your kids are binge watching Bluey, right? Is that
They already watched all the episodes.
Oh, it's done. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The song you listened to on the way in this morning.
I don't think I ain't listened to music this morning.
So what's your jam right now? Jam's an
I'm an
old word.
audiobook. I like listening to audiobooks in the morning. Kind of like get me in the walk into the building, get me in the right
So what book
mindset.
you listening to?
Right now, the inner game of tennis.
Okay.
And people when I tell them that it's like tennis.
Big tennis guy
But
you're talking to here.
But it's about, tennis is a very big mental sport, and those guys have to really dial in and hone into wins and losses. So that book really taps into that mental side and that mental focus that I like to
We'll
get
do
into.
a podcast and just talk tennis. It'll interest only us. Your go-to show growing up?
Oh, Lord. Probably some on Cartoon Network, Codename Kids Next Door, Ed, Edd and Eddy or something like that.
Pretty solid, Ed, Edd and Eddy. My wife hated Ed, Edd and Eddy because my son loved it. Your must-see athlete of all time?
LeBron James.
Okay. 2025 will be what?
Exciting, demanding, exhausting, because I'm playing hard as I can every single play. Yeah.
Gotcha. Josh, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, John.
Always enjoy it.